Many people say that if you want to become a fan of something, you need to like it first. That's the same thing with the show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Well, almost. There was this project created by Hasbro called Bronyfication, where a certain subject, being him, a brony or not, would become a true brony. Not many passed through this process, only 125 people. But it was like this. First, some of the members of Hasbro would go into a house of a brony and ask him if he was a brony. He would simply say yes, and they would knock him out with a punch. They will take him to their studio, where he will be brainwashed and then forced to watch season 1 and 2 for like 3 times. And then a member of Hasbro will dress as a pony and come and chew near the subject. If the subject hugs and plays with the pony, he'll become accepted into the Hasbro team and work with them. In case if the subject behaves differently, he'll be executed by having his brain removed while he was still alive and awake. The local police had heard of the project, and Lauren Foss had to pay almost $1 million bribe to not have Hasbro closed down and to not have the secret told. Most Hasbro members pass through this, so if you see a Hasbro member, be sad about him, and also be happy that you didn't pass through this horrible experiment like I did. Fortunately, I could regain my memory back, and as they didn't brainwash me very well, I managed to escape while the test with my behavior towards the ponies came, but it wasn't easy. I had to run to the nearest police department in town, and I told them the secret. Today I felt like a hero, but I had lost something that made me part of my life. The show, which I now hate. Remember, everything has a dark side. Doesn't matter how cute, funny, and happy it looks. It will always have a bad side. And that, my pretties, was Bronyfication, a My Little Pony creepypasta. My final thoughts on this story? Okay, I do really need to say that this story was not really the best story. I mean, the grammar's alright, but I do know that there were a couple of run-on sentences, and yeah, it was making it difficult for me to read at part way through. I mean, that's one I can definitely say is that if you're going to have run-on sentences like that, put it through Google Docs, and that could really help you improve on your grammar and that. While the concept of it seems interesting, I doubt anything like that would happen. I doubt that they would execute the person if they behaved differently. That's not believable. I definitely going to say that now. That is not really believable. Obviously, this story just doesn't seem to make quite enough sense. I mean, the grammar's alright, but the sentence structuring does need to be revised because there is a lot of run-on sentences in the story that I obviously had a hard time reading partway through because of how the story was. But like I said, though, this story could have potential to be better, but unfortunately that's not the case with this story. And that really disappoints me too, because I've wanted to like this story, but that's not the case because this story obviously just doesn't really help out, and it does need some pointers. But anyway, with that being said, I mean, the idea of the concept of it, being, if a person's a brony, they would join and help out with the studio. I personally really enjoy that concept, but it does need help. Like, it needs to be revised to make it more sensible and more understanding, because I just don't even know what it is, but it just doesn't really seem to, just be there, if that makes sense, because it just doesn't help out. I don't really know what it is, but the story was awfully short too. Like, I really wish the story could have explained more in the depth as to what exactly was going on or something. Or maybe there is some conspiracy theory or something like that. At least that would definitely help out with the story. But unfortunately, that did not happen to be the case. And that really kind of sucks because, you know, this could have had potential to be a good story, but unfortunately, that's not really the case with this. Well, I guess with that being said, I don't know who the original author of this story is, so I'm gonna leave this as anonymous for now. If I do find out who the original author is, I'll be sure to give the author proper credit. So it says it's written by anonymous, so I don't even know who wrote the story. If anyone knows who wrote the story, please let me know in the comment section so I can give them proper credit. But like I'm always going to say, and like I always continue to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion. If you disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, and this is just simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of the story will be a 2 out of 10. 2 because while I wanted to enjoy this story, but unfortunately that just didn't turn out to be the case, and the story just fell flat. Like, that's literally one of the things I can say that this story does need, you know, improved. And yeah, that's definitely something I gotta say. But the story, it just wasn't really good. I'm sorry, but it just wasn't that good. That's literally one of the things I can definitely say that this story obviously could have been better, but unfortunately it did not. Now anyways, with that being said, and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Leave me your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'm Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoyed this channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications when I upload. As always, if you want to go follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on DeviantArt, follow me on Twitter, and as well as follow me on my backup channel known as Ms. Dark Shigo, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, I'll be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, roll the outro, because I'm out. What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Ms. Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.